Hey everybody, welcome to my first video. This is going to be a channel of just telling stories, fun stories that I have. Today I'm going to be talking about a pretty crazy one. Me and my friend got on a train and went about 2 towns over before school. And the way my school worked, at a certain time, they would call your parents and tell them you weren't there. And so we were at a race against the clock to get back. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you do, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Yeah. Comment if, you liked the video so I can know if I should keep doing this sort of thing. Alright. So, me and my friend used to skip school a lot. Pretty often actually. And one day we decided that we were gonna get on this train because we were at the park, doing our own thing. And there's a train track right next to the park. And the train is very oftenly there. And so we decided, yeah, why not? We're not gonna do anything else. We're not doing anything else. So yeah, we just decided it would be fun. We both had a cart on us, so we were a little high. And yeah, we decided it would be pretty fun, and we've done it before, not before school, and we've never gotten caught or anything, so we decided, yeah, let's do it. So we snuck up to like the back of the train, and we got on, and after like 5 minutes, the train started going, and we were, having fun recording videos on our phone. I'll try to find a video to put in here. It was like 2 years ago though, so I may not have it anymore because I've gotten a new phone in that time. But yeah, we were recording videos, hitting our cards, having a good time, and we ended up getting pretty high. And we got so high actually that we didn't realize, how long we had been on the train. And I was getting pretty thirsty, I was getting that cotton mouth. And I was like, we should go back, we should get off the train and start walking to school. Make it there before lunchtime, because we are both very hungry. So we get off the train, and I go to open my maps, my Google Maps, so I can, see where we're at. And we are in 2 towns over. And the towns are pretty far apart, so it was like an hour walk. It was like an hour and a half walk maybe. And so it was probably around 8 a.m. or 8:30. So we were definitely fighting the clock. And I'm not one for long walks. I really highly dislike it, but there is no way that I was texting my mom, calling her and being like, hey, can you come get me? We got on a train before school, and now we're 2 towns over. And so we're both very, very high at this point, and very thirsty, and so neither of us want to walk. And so we start making our way, walking. We're going across farms and stuff, trespassing, hoping that nobody, catches us, because we've been caught before doing something dumb on somebody's property. And so, yeah, and we're walking, talking, having a good time. And, about 30 minutes into the walk, we're walking down a pretty main road. A lot of cars use the road to get to the other town. And there's a cop that passes us, and we're like, uh-oh, we have our school book bags on and everything, but we're not in school. And cops very frequently stop you if you look like a kid and you're not in school. And so we just, we kept walking faster, and up ahead we see the cop turn around. And so we start running because we're not about to get caught by the cops and have them call their parents. So we start running through houses and backyards trying to, get away. And we're both very high, as I said. And my friend, who I'm gonna call Dave, Dave was a lot higher than me. My tolerance was a lot higher than him. So we're running, and we have to get over this fence to get to the next, yard. And I get over it, not the easiest, I will admit. It was a little difficult getting over it. I get over it though, and Dave ends up going through the fence. It was a wooden fence. He kicked the fence real hard that he just created a hole in the fence, and it was very loud. And the people that lived there came out, and they started yelling, saying they were going to call the cops and to get off their property, and that he would have to pay for the damages. Well, Dave isn't one to stick around to confrontation, and he just starts running. And I don't know where he's going, because he didn't get over the fence. And so he's running, I take off running, because I'm not going to stick around till the cops get here. And so we're at, only 30 minutes into this walk, and now we're separated. The cops already seen us, so they might, not 100%, but they might be looking for us as to where we went. And my friend just damaged somebody's very expensive fence, because fences are not cheap. And so we end up, after a while, making it back to each other. We had our phones, so we could use each other's locations to get back to each other. And it is probably, if I were to guess, 9:10 at this point. And we have to get in school before 10:30. And we still have another hour ahead of us. And so we decide, in our high minds, that we're going to hitchhike. We're going to try to get somebody to pull over and take us close, and not, to the school. But, yeah, so we do that. We keep walking. Nobody's stopping. Literally nobody. They're not even paying us a single mine in the world, which is fair. You see two kids with book bags on, you're not, the most willing to pull over and give them a ride. And so that doesn't work, and we now realize we still gotta walk 50 more minutes and make it there, hopefully. And all I could think about at that point was getting some water and some food. And so I'm like, you know what? We should just start running. We should just take off and just run as far as we can. And so we do that, and we only end up running for about 5 minutes because we are very, high, and you never really want to run when you're high. And we're very dehydrated. We are both very inclined to getting some water. And so, we just gave up on running. And I'd say about 20 more minutes into the walk, there is another cop just sitting in a direction that we have to go. And I'm not too sure if he's seen us yet. So, we did the obvious thing, and we tried to find another way. And you may be thinking to yourself, how is there so many cops? Why is there so many? It must have just been a really, bad day to have done this. I'm not too sure. I've never really seen that many cops in a single walk. And so about 5 more minutes later, we're getting closer to the school. There's some hope in us now. It's probably 9:40 or 9:50. We think we're gonna make it, pretty easily. And so we go into a store, and we both buy some water and some food, and we sit down and we eat. And at the corner of my eye, I can see out of the store's window that a cop just pulled in. And so now we're both freaking out, Is he looking for us? Is he, gonna come in here and arrest us? And obviously he wouldn't, but, we were, about 16, we thought the worst, and we were high, so it didn't help our situation. And so we decided that we would just, hide behind an aisle. And then when he goes like an opposite direction, we would slip out through the door and just book it. We got some water in us, some food. So we're feeling, like we could totally do it. And so that's what happened. He goes and he's grabbing a drink out the back of the store, and we just take off. Don't worry, we paid for all of our food and our drinks. So we take off and we get away pretty easily. And we finally, after a long time, we finally make it to the school. And we go into the school, and we get the same response every time we're there. The attendance lady goes, "Oh, you two again together?" And we're like, "Yeah, I woke up late, and so did he, so we just decided we'd come in together." She's like, "Seems like that happens a lot." And we're like, "Yeah, maybe it does." And we got pulled out of class by our school resource officer. Because if you go to school late a bunch of times, you're obviously gonna get in trouble at some point. And he was like, "Why are you guys late so much to school and always together?" Because, this was like an everyday thing for at least 3 months. We were just coming to school late every single day. And we were like, just oversleep a lot. He was like, "No, there's no way you both oversleep that much and come in at the exact same time every day." And so I was like, "Alright, you know what, you're right." Because I didn't want to get in trouble for lying. And so he calls our parents and tells them that we've been out skipping for many months. I did in fact get my lunch that I was so desperately craving. It was pizza that day, I remember, because we always had pizza